offense, the officials for tonight's match: Kalen Radisat, Art Aristamayan, Matthew Rodman, and Youssef El Masusi. And now, fans, let's meet the starting lineup for tonight's opponent, Sporting Kansas City 2. In goal, 42, Remy Prieur. Number 23, Tyler Freeman. Number 33, Danny Barbier. Number 40, Dylan Cerna. Number 46, Jake Davis. Number 48, Kave Rad. 57, Caden Pierre. Number 80, Fredinho Lampremier. Number 84, Jahan Rad. Number 96, Wilson Harris. And the captain is 32, Christian Duke. The head coach of Sporting Kansas City 2 is Paulo Nakamura. Now, fans, let's meet the starting 11 for your Indy 11. In goal, number 1, Evan Newton. Number 4, Tyler Gibson. Number 6, Drew Connor. Number 7, Ayose. Number 9, Carl Howard.
Time during the regular season and could be the final time for all of 2020. The Indy 11 are at Lucas Oil Stadium. In fact, they wrap up a 5-match homestand this evening, but just 4 points have been pulled from 4 previous home dates in the month of September. For a 4th and final time this season, Sporting Kansas City 2 is the opponent for the boys in blue. And for the Indy 11, we'll show you the standings, the table in Group E. It's as simple as this. Win tonight, and the Indy 11 are in the playoffs for a 3rd consecutive year. A loss or a draw, and they must win at St. Louis to secure that berth on Saturday night. With that as the backdrop, we welcome you inside the broadcast booth at Lucas Oil Stadium. I'm Greg Rakestraw, joined as always by Brad Hodder. Thanks for joining us on My Indy TV and ESPN+. And Brad, again, we had hope for more in this month of September for the Indy 11. But the good news is it's awfully simple. Win, and they're in.
Yeah, you referenced that, and all of the ingredients are there. You're playing at home. Sporting Kansas City 2 is on a 4-game losing streak, and they've given up 3 goals a match in that run.
The Indy 11 inch a bit closer to that playoff spot a week ago. This service from Ayose landed him on the USL Championship Team of the Week. Neville Hackshaw got his 2nd goal of the season to deliver a 1-1 draw against St. Louis 7 days ago. But as you can tell, the offense has often been up to Tyler Pasher so far this year.
Yeah, but so important to see a little bit of that being shared just to put some thoughts and keep the defenders honest.
For Tyler Pasher, he has not scored in the run of play since August the 15th. His last goal coming from the penalty spot September the 5th against Lou City. Our starting lineup is presented by your Central Indiana Honda Dealers, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. One change in the starting 11 from last Wednesday. Ilya Illich replaces Nick Moon.
Yeah, and I like it. I like the creativity tucked underneath Lindley and Pasher.
For Sporting Kansas City 2, much as Tyler Pasher has driven the bus for the Indy 11 this season. Wilson Harris is that young man for Sporting Kansas City 2. The 20-year-old now has 20 or more goals in his 3 years in the USL Championship, and he is the player you key on offensively for SKC 2.
Yeah, a lot of talent on this roster, but it goes through him.
2 more matches left to go for Sporting Kansas City 2. They know their season is over for Saturday night. If the Indy 11 win tonight, they'll avoid that same fate. Opening kickoff comes your way next on My Indy TV and ESPN+. Indy 11 Soccer is brought to you by Community Health. Dream big, work hard, finish strong. Community Health Sport. Indy 11 Soccer is brought to you by Community Health.
Hey fans, please remember to practice social distancing here at Lucas Oil Stadium tonight. Please wear your face masks at all times. Stay 6 feet apart from one another.
Indy 11 Soccer is brought to you by Community Health. Dream big, work hard, finish strong. Community Health Sports Medicine, official sports medicine provider of the Indy 11. And by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, proud to be the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. As referenced earlier, this is the 4th and final matchup of this season. These two teams met twice last year. The only Sporting Kansas City 2 win came in this building on August the 1st. And on that night, the boys in a lighter shade of blue ended Indy 11's streak of matches without a loss in this building that dated for over 2 years in a 1-0 victory. You can see local product Cam Lindley into the starting lineup for an 8th time this season. Wilson Harris awaits the signal from our match referee, Kalen Radisov, to get this one started at Lucas Oil Stadium. Again, the Indy 11 are on the road in St. Louis on Saturday night. And if they can win this match, they guarantee themselves a playoff contest. I'm not sure I've ever seen something like that off the start of a match.
Might be that you've got a shot number incentive in your contract and you just need one more.
I had to stop in mid-sentence of what I was doing. Okay. So Evan Newton tracks that down from Wilson Harris. I don't think Evan was that far off his line. But again, Indy 11 wins tonight, and they are in the playoffs for a 3rd consecutive season. They'll be on the road at St. Louis on Saturday. Their first playoff match would be on the road. And then after that, it's simply a matter of win and see how the breaks take you. But as it stands right now, the Indy 11 have the lowest point total of any team that's in a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. So more than likely, it is a road playoff path for the Indy 11. First things first, you got to get there. And a win tonight would ensure that for Indy.
Yeah, and a couple dangerous things in here. Right now, Sporting Kansas City 2 has nothing to lose. They can play very, very relaxed. The other part with it is even though they're out of the ability to get into the championship playoffs, they're all still playing to impress the first team and look and see if they can move up. And so each one of these guys has something to prove tonight. So it's not going to be a match that you kind of sit back and relax in.
Neville Hackshaw goes to the turf. He appears to be all right. Good time to transition to our injury report brought to us by Community Health Sports Medicine, official sports medicine provider of the Indy 11. This team is awfully healthy going into potentially the second season. Fredinho Montpremier, the player that committed the foul, as Hackshaw just did beat him to that ball. And Ioze on the USL Championship Team of the Week for his assist on the Hackshaw goal. Ioze has assisted on both of Hackshaw's goals this season. And Harris in space is a dangerous thought for the Indy 11.
Yeah, and in transition too, that gets you a little bit nervous. Hackshaw is pulled up a little bit. They got 3 players around him. Ball's bouncing around. It just takes one guy to push it past Neville, and Harris is in.
We have been impressed with Sporting Kansas City 2 every time we have seen them this year. Bounce of the ball. Gets to Pasher. Illich eventually will settle and distributes to Ioze. Illich,
what a touch
for Pasher. Pasher fires away, and Remy Pryor never had to lay a finger on it because Pasher roofed it in his attempt for a 10th goal this year.
Love this. This is the kind of stuff that Ilya Illich brings in underneath Pasher and Lindley. The vision and the ability to put a ball into space that they can run onto.
The ability of Ioze and Illich, part of your keys to this match, presented by your Central Indiana Honda Dealers, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. So let's go to Sporting Kansas City 2 first. Explain the 3D player.
Yeah, you take a look at the problems that you have to solve defensively in a game. Ioze, Illich, guys like Howarth, those guys complicate it because they play 3-dimensional soccer. For a young team, those becomes more difficult problems to solve. So if they can reduce the touches of Illich, of Ioze, of Howarth, guys like that, it becomes a simpler game for them to problem solve. For Indy 11, they must dictate the tempo today. You know what has to happen? It's like Mike Tyson back in the 80s. When that bell rung and he charged across the ring, that has to be the 11 today. They have to be on the front foot. You cannot roll into St. Louis on Saturday in their home stadium for what might be the last game in that franchise's existence and have to get a win. Get the 3 points tonight.
There's Carl Howarth. Doubled up. Freeman able to track it down for Sporting Kansas City 2. Look at Martin Running on the sidelines, the longest tenured head coach in the history of the Indy 11, and has led this team to a pair of playoff berths in each of his first 2 years. Dylan Cerna standing over this one. Cerna leads Sporting Kansas City 2 in assists with 4.
And he's not quite Ioze, but he has got a little creativity and craftiness when he serves the ball.
Veteran that spent a lot of time with the Colorado franchise in Major League Soccer. Sends this one in. Barrett got there first, not out of the 18 just yet. Duke chips it in, nobody there in particular. And Haworth will sweep it back towards the midfield. Montpremier had a bit of a turf bounce and overran the ball. But then Lindley with the giveaway. Jake Davis to one of the 2 brothers Rad in the midfield for Sporting Kansas City 2. There is Jahan that wears number 84 and Cave that wears number 48. That duo turned 19 in the month of June. One of the numerous Sporting Kansas City Academy products that are on the field tonight.
What a turn.
Another day that ends in Y for Ioze. Ioze, one of 3 members of the 70 or more club on the roster for the Indy 11 tonight. That's more than 70 appearances for the team. Carl Lamette, Matt Watson the other two, and this their third year in Indy. Good step by Illich, couldn't sneak it past Barbier. And trying to find Harris on that island is a big part of what Sporting Kansas City 2 looks to do. Good looking run here by Davis. Davis couldn't keep it at his feet, and Barrett does just enough to get in his way to allow Newton to smother the goal-scoring chance on the blue turf.
Good job cleaning it up on a little bit of a heavy touch, but the thing you have to be careful about when you're defending against Harris, like Patty Barrett was doing there, you can't just clear him because there's that next wave of players coming in.
And just enough of a nod to keep that ball away from Pasher. And it lands in the midst of Remy Pryor. First time we have seen him in goal against Indy this year. The Indiana native Brooks Thompson had been in net the previous 3. Thompson unavailable for selection tonight. Pryor's high water mark of the season was a shutout victory against Lou City back in late July, or I guess a 2-1 victory against Lou City back in late July. This portion of this match presented by Community Health Sports Medicine, exceptional care, simply delivered. Freeman, a goal scorer last time against Indy, with Harris making the complimentary run. Barrett gets in the way, and Ioze has the ball find him in step. Illich a touch. Haworth is onside, so is Pasher. Pasher looking back post. Pasher!
Bam. Oh my goodness.
Pryor got a hand on it. He thought he had number 10 in the Indy 11, thought they had a 1-goal lead.
Oh, what build-up, too. Using Pasher as a decoy in the middle. It bypasses him to Haworth. Great serve in. Not a bad shot, but a brilliant save.
Pasher went across Pryor's body. Thought he might have gone back post on that. He did not. Wow. Credit Pryor. But a corner kick coming for the Indy 11. And as per usual, Ioze will take it.
Just terrific build-up. Just terrific build-up. Yeah, 2v1 in the corner. You got 2 great players. Play that ball short.
It's exactly what they did. Haworth trying to line it up. Swings it out wide to Hackshaw. Lindley looking back post. Connor able to buy some real estate. Haworth again, back post. Hackshaw plays it across, but Illich couldn't latch onto it. Ioze the lead for Lindley. Again, Barbier does just enough to keep that ball away from Pasher. Barbier a goal scorer here. In fact, he had the winner in the 1-0 decision against Indy on August the 1st. Good build up off the corner by the Indy 11. Could never get that finishing blow. The Sporting Kansas City 2 team has lost their last 4 matches. They have been competitive in all of them, really until the last one. They last played 8 days ago, an out-of-division match against Austin Bold, and Austin put it to them 4-0. We've been impressed by them every time we have seen them in this building. Indy 11's won twice 2-1, lost once 1-0. And the folks from Kansas City would tell you they feel the last match should have been 2-2. And an equalizing goal was waved off because of a foul committed in the box by Barbier. Haworth would like to have that one back. Barrett hustles to prevent Harris from latching onto that one.
Yeah, just enough pressure by Harris to knock Barrett off stride.
And Barrett read that one beautifully. Again, Pasher the target. Pryor off his line, couldn't get to it. Pasher couldn't get enough on it with the noggin to put it up and over Pryor.
Really, I'll tell you something we haven't seen in the last few weeks is Pasher hanging right on the edge of the defensive line and guys looking to flick it in tight in combination to send him through, or balls like that just driven over that back line for him to run on. Sporting KC2 has got to make a decision here. Either you've got to step up higher on those serves and deny the ball in, drop your back line, keep Pasher in front of you, or Pryor's got to do what he's doing now and play at the top of the 18 so he can clean up any of those balls that are driven over the top.
Good look at longtime MLS vet Paulo Nagamura. Finished his playing career in Kansas City. Now has coached SKC2. Before that, Swope Park Rangers was their moniker until this year. Now for each of the last 3 seasons. It's going to be the 2nd straight year in which they have missed the playoffs. Before that, they had several deep postseason runs, including the USL Cup final in 2017. Outstanding ball by Gibson to find Haworth. Deft touch by Haworth. Pasher, the lead. Iose.
What a look. Play collapses around Pasher. Iose's coming off his left shoulder. Just a touch into traffic. It's just a tough angle from there.
Well, the theme for the Indy 11 remains the same, is just getting chances and finishing them. That being said, in the first 12 minutes, they have created numerous outstanding chances so far in this match.
It's Tyson. The bell rang. They're charging across the ring.
Indy 11 fans are just hoping they're not playing Buster Douglas tonight with that analogy. Although, to your credit, you did say 80s.
Yes, I did.
And Tyson lost to Buster in February of 1990. So your 80s Tyson was on point. Pasher finds a seam. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, visit SelectSportAmerica.com. The speed of thought has been fun to watch for the Indy 11. But a giveaway here. 2 defenders step to Harris, and again, Barrett has been outstanding so far tonight. He will shoulder Harris away from the ball to get it back to Evan Newton.
And just love guys that are on the same page there. Patty Barrett has to come out to play Harris. We met, who's traditionally the outside back, immediately tucks in behind to provide cover.
There was an extra ball on the pitch, the reason for the restart of the restart, which allows us to tell you about our friends at Cliff Bar Baking Company, Indianapolis. Proud to team up with the Indy 11 to support the Little Wish Foundation. The miles turned in by Iose and Tyler Gibson lead to more money raised for the Little Wish Foundation, courtesy of the Cliff Bar Baking Company. It is clear to see the imprint that Ilya Ilic is leaving on this match already.
Tell you, we're 14 minutes in. He's the man of the match at this point. He's sat in a seam where he's picked off a couple of balls from the Sporting KC2 back line, and then he's been brilliant at actually just flicking and finding Pasher in space.
Foul against Montpremier is whistled. So restart coming here for Evan Newton. This portion of this match presented by the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, Indiana, a state that works. Ilic does have a tie to a victory in this series this year for the Indy 11. He had the assist on the game-winning goal for Patty Barrett back on July the 18th in Indy's 2-1 victory against SKC2. Of course, he won a pair of USL championships in his days with Lou City, having spent 4 years there before joining Indy prior to last season. Good-looking ball from Montpremier. And Harris making a back post run, but the ball doesn't get to him. And this is the part where we point out the math of the playoffs for each of these two teams. Again, SKC2 knows their season is over as of Saturday. For Indy, it's win tonight and you're in. A draw does nothing for them because it leaves you in the same situation you are in for Saturday, needing to win or draw at St. Louis. So there is no incentive for either of these two teams just to pack it in and play for a point, which will lead to up and back soccer as we have seen in tonight's matchup so far.
Yeah, and while you mention that it puts you in the same situation Saturday.
Freeman left foot.
Good
Newton there with a save.
Well, you mentioned that it put you in the same situation Saturday. The only thing that's different on Saturday is you're on the road.
Yep.
And you have no safety net. It is do or die time. So get it done tonight.
Jose just a bit in front of Connor. Tonight's match presented in part by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Another long ball intended for Harris. But Barrett will track down. Indy 11 just a bit off on a couple of passes. Sporting Kansas City was as well. And again, long ball for Pasher. Great job by Rad to get in the way. Bon Premier got ahead to it, but didn't exactly steer it on target. Take a look at Freeman's left-footed blast from a moment or two ago.
Tell you what, that's a well-struck ball, and it's through 3 guys, so it's a tough one for Evan Newton to pick up.
Freeman scored on a beauty of a set piece here 3 weeks ago. At the time, Indy was staked to a 2-goal lead. Bit of an off touch there. Nervous moment for Indy. One blast, no, and if Duke's pass finds the mark, Harris has a good look at Evan Newton. Christian Duke with a word for tonight's referee, Kalen Radisov. Duke concern of the 2 veterans on this SKC2 roster. For Duke, this is his 7th year playing in the USL Championship. Turning to the club after some time with Orange County. Everybody wearing their masks. That's good to see.
Tell you what, I don't mind the confidence on the back line, but with the way that Sporting KC2 is pressing every back ball, it's got to be crisper, it's got to be sharper, it's got to be to the right foot at the right weight.
Nobody within 40 yards of Pryor. That's a safe option. Well, the first 12 minutes or so belong to the Indy 11. Better chances the last 5 minutes plus to Sporting Kansas City 2. Throw in coming here for the Indy 11. Fans, you can show your Indy 11 pride and get your exclusive Indiana Members Credit Union Indy 11 debit card at any IMCU branch or online at imcu.com today. Pasher with multiple options, and that was not one of them.
And I tell you, that's one of the things that those 2 guys bring when they're together. You know Pasher's going to take off. The defender can't stay with him and leave Iose without pressure on the ball. So you got to step to the ball and try and see if you can affect Iose, and that leaves Pasher for the through ball. You're in a no-win situation. You got to have another defender helping out.
Pasher again on the run. The ball will scoot away from both he and the defender. Pryor, nice touch, takes it right back inside of the 18. Pasher trying to find Gibson. Neither team afraid of pressing the other. Fans, you can be a part of the conversation and watch the drama unfold live when the USL Championship playoffs begin October the 9th. Catch every match, every goal, every save, every celebration on ESPN Plus on the way to the USL Championship Final, November the 1st at 8:30 Eastern on both ESPN and ESPN Deportes.
That's a good step by Petty Barrett on that last ball. If he doesn't come out for it, it's a 3-on-3 with a lot of space.
The defender giving chase. One of the academy products for Sporting Kansas City 2. First time we have seen him, Caden Pierre. In fact, this is just the second match he has played at this level for SKC 2. Illich. A little more space to operate for Gibson. And a throw-in coming for Indy. Gibson and Connor and Hackshaw could not get on the same page. Sports this match presented by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Harris normally up top and worked his way all the way to the midfield defensively. Wasn't there to latch onto that pass for Sporting Kansas City 2. Illich. Credit Sporting Kansas City 2 doing just enough to break up that connection between he and Iose.
And that's the effective ball for Indy 11 here with this kind of press, is to move it touchline to touchline.
Here's an opportunity here. Lindley has broken free. Finds Connor. Connor, the lead. Iose, the blast. Only issue there, you put Iose on his right foot, not his preferred side. Other than that, great combination play by the Indy 11.
A little cheekiness from Drew Connor. That's twice. He just had a back heel at the top of the box.
Small window to shoot through for Iose, but again, you like the combination play, and it started with the back heel from Pasher to Cam Lindley. Iose a goal in the season opening match for the Indy 11 against Memphis. Just a reminder, fans, every Saturday morning, catch Soccer Saturday on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. This week's show all depends on what happens in tonight's match between Indy 11 and Sporting Kansas City 2. And of course, you can go back and listen to the show after the fact anytime at 1075thefan.com. Iose take it out. And a restart coming just shy of midfield for the Indy 11 as Jake Davis and Iose get tied up with one another.
Yeah, we see that every game. That's not a, I don't think there's any malice or malintent on that. That's just a foul because they've never seen a guy, play a ball like that.
Davis, an 18-year-old from Rochester, Michigan. Far northern suburbs of Detroit. Davis, I believe, got a last touch on that. He did. Throw in coming for Indy. Mention the fact that Davis is from Rochester, Michigan. That is the home of Oakland University. That is the alma mater of the backup goalkeeper for Sporting Kansas City 2 tonight, who was their goalkeeping coach in Mitch Hildebrand. Pasher is not onside. Flag goes up.
Good step. Good little step at the back line. Run needed to be a little bit flatter.
The Sporting Kansas City 2 team, they have used 5 different goalkeepers this year. They have a couple of players that are able to play in tonight's match, so They have suited up the previously retired Hildebrandt as their in case of need backup for tonight's match. Foul against Wimet. And enough to draw the whistle. And a restart just inside of the field of play.
Yeah, in soft, but there's no reason to make contact there and, you know, give a team this opportunity. You know, we saw almost from this exact same spot. Cerna just missed the ball right around the penalty stripe.
And Sporting Kansas City, too, certainly throwing some numbers forward here. Illich gets to it. Pasher, only player kind of hanging back around midfield for Indy. And eventually Pierre and Davis combine to track it down for Sporting Kansas City, too. Then a giveaway. Now Lindley looking to find Pasher. Well defended by Sporting Kansas City, too. And another effort that gave Newton little to no concern whatsoever. Great flick by Illich. Now here's the run you're looking for. Gibson knocks it forward. Pasher a touch to settle. Did not get everything on it. Pryor spills it, and he should get there in time. A defender will take care of it instead.
Wow, I'll tell you what, great buildup. Drew Connor is playing a different level with the ball tonight. That was an outside of the foot ball with his right foot to play it behind the defender and into Pasher's run.
It's probably the second shot that Pasher would like to have back of the evening as well.
Well, he's tested Remy Pryor twice to his left, low, middle. Maybe now we go the other way.
23 career goals for the man wearing number 23 for the Indy 11. Just one in a shortened season in 2018. 13 last year, all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. He's been sitting on 9 now for about 3 weeks, has Tyler. Carom of that ball finds Illich. Then a real estate ball knocked forward by Sporting Kansas City. 2 flag goes up. Harris was offside. Another look at Tyler Pasher's latest effort on goal and Remy Pryor's latest save.
Look at this, outside of the right foot, just punching it in and behind the defender.
Tyler formerly spent time with what was then known as the Swope Park Rangers. Haworth, good looking ball for Illich, couldn't latch onto it, but Connor racing back. The hustle of Connor on display every night.
Great run by Cam Lindley, back post.
Haworth now making a similar run. Connor couldn't slide it through. There's too much traffic to get through.
And I tell you, what's so great about those kind of dual runs, Lindley makes that run that pulls the midfielder and the defender back into the box, opens up this gap for Haworth, who recognizes it and makes the identical delayed run. So you've got 2 options on the backside.
Gibson. He and Lindley not on the same page there. This portion of this match brought to us by Keystone Construction. It's more than construction, we build a vision. And that'll be a foul on Gibson. Duke, the player, on the turf, and that will be our hydration break. I'm not sure Duke needs hydration. He will take the break after that tackle from Gibson. This hydration break presented by our friends at Sirius XM. On the road, can't watch the match, then turn on Sirius XM FC. North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio. Featuring Ray Hudson, Viola, and Rodney Marsh. And of course, Brian Benson Davis. Fans of the USL can now listen to the best matches of the week, along with action from Major League Soccer, the Premier League, and the UEFA Champions League. Sirius XM FC, channel 157 on your Sirius XM radio and on the Sirius XM app. You know, Jason was on Soccer Saturday last week. Brian told me he'd be on the show this week.
Oh,
I should probably put both those guys in the read, as we call it in the business. Look at some of the newer scarves for the Indy 11, some of the new kits for the Indy 11 as well. How about the latest chances on goal for the Indy 11? Still haven't found one yet, but they've put themselves consistently in goal scoring position.
Oh, so many great creative plays. And you know, I tell you, so much of it is coming through Howarth, Illich, and Ioze. Whether it's punching it into the out wide early on or playing it into a target, laying it back, and then trying to send them through.
So finishing since kind of the early stages of the season, that's been the one thing for the Indy 11. You'd go, hey, that's got to be better. It's not been there tonight. If you keep giving yourselves those chances, good things generally tend to happen.
And I tell you, I love the elevated level of pressure that the 11 are bringing tonight and the repossessions that's creating.
Ioze, a tremendous run going. Pasher
What a
plays it
ball.
across. Howarth, Pryor got in the way. Lindley follows it up. When that sweeps it back post, nobody there. Howarth.
Remy Pryor is earning his paycheck tonight.
This is his third consecutive match in goal. It is a crowded goalkeeper room, not just at Sporting Kansas City 2, but with the Major League Soccer side as well. There are 4 goalkeepers on that roster. One of them we know very well here in Indianapolis, Eric Dick from Carmel High School and Butler University. He is the starting netminder for Phoenix Rising. He is on loan from SKC for the entirety of the season. Illich. Great job to hold that up because Pasher would have been offside.
All right, that's incredible vision, not just...
Howard slides it through. We'll get another opportunity here. Connor. Can he get there in time? Nope. Just ran out of real estate.
You got the incredible vision, not just to see the run, but then to recognize that it's a step offside and pull it back.
We talk about the finishing of Tyler Pasher. How about the service with that left foot?
That's just beautiful. That is just beautiful. All around. Great save.
Great job by Barrett, because that could have been trouble. Pasher the lead for Ioze. Pasher draws the attention of 3 defenders. That's normal for Tyler. Howarth sends it across, and that was almost an own goal.
Unreal.
I think that was Barbier that got that touchdown. Illich.
I agree. It was a great run by Illich, but Barbier got to it first, and Remy Pryor is playing against 21 other guys out here tonight.
For Pryor, and that was Barbier that touched it. That was almost Barbier's second beautiful goal at that end of the stadium this year. The other one was for his own team. But this is Pryor's 4th match of the year. He played July 29th in Louisville, and it hadn't played again until the last couple of weeks. Barrett a blast, and that will lead to another corner for the Indy 11.
And I tell you what, if you're going to have a situation where you've got Ioze or Howarth and Pasher out at the corner by themselves with one defender, take that 2v1 every opportunity.
Pasher drifts in that direction. And Duke told to take a few paces back. Ioze distributes. Fight for the loose ball. And that will be a throw in for Sporting Kansas City 2. Montpremier and Lindley get tied up, remain tied up. And let's hope we can separate these two guys. And now Montpremier is potentially requiring some assistance. As the width of the soccer pitch, you quickly run out of real estate up against that near sideline. So both Lindley and Montpremier checked out by their respective training staffs. And this is a great angle for us because that is part of the field where we are blocked off. And Lindley reacted demonstratively, thinking that Montpremier steered him into said barrier. You see some of the SKC2 staff members did a good job of not getting involved in that dust up.
Yeah, Montpremier did a nice job of shielding that ball out of bounds. It's like you say, there's just not much space off that touchline.
Lindley is explaining his case to anyone that will listen. Light blue, dark blue, yellow shirt, doesn't matter. Both players appear to be all right. Looks like a card has been shown to Lindley, and again, it's for the extended arm after they came to a skidding stop. And I think Cam's argument is, hey, that should have been a foul to give us possession before said arm was extended. So a yellow shown to Lindley. That is his first one of the season. And he's got the tape job on his hand. It doesn't affect him as much as it was when it was his shooting hand from his basketball days locally. Winner of a basketball state championship was Cam at Garin Catholic High School for our great friend Pete Smith. Caught up with Cam's basketball coach and Pete yesterday. Illich tried to find Connor. Davis punts it some 50 yards away. And Hackshaw is trying to let that ball roll across the touchline, but then able to slide it through two defenders. And Montpremier draws a foul against Howarth. Let's thank our friends at Faegre Drinker, a firm designed for clients, for their support of Indy 11 soccer. If you're Martin Rennie, what's going through your mind right now?
Yeah, you got a little bit of concern because you came out with an elevated level of pressure that we've seen from the 11 in the last few matches. You've generated a lot of opportunities from that, but that also does create a little bit of fatigue. And at some point, you're not executing in the box with fresh legs. When that fatigue starts to impact you later on in the match, now those opportunities can be even tougher to finish.
You have plenty of offensive weapons available off the bench if you're the Indy 11. Nick Moon, Jeremy Raffanello, Andrew Carlton, all available for selection off the bench. Matt Watson amongst that group as well. All those players either have a goal or an assist or both on the campaign. And of course, if you're Indy, it sounds weird to say they will give maximum effort tonight. You would expect maximum effort every match, but you will sell out to get the 3 points tonight to make Saturday's match much more of a relaxing affair. In a perfect world for Indy, that's a chance to get some reserves some minutes on Saturday. But Sporting Kansas City 2 is trying to wreck that. Montpremier.
It's a great ball.
Harris lurking inside of the 18. Montpremier to Harris, and Harris scores. Harris has his 8th goal of the season, his 4th goal the last 2 years against Indy. And Sporting Kansas City 2, you can hear the cheers from St. Louis. They have a 1-goal lead.
Tell you what, that was a great ball out to Montpremier. But I tell you what, when he gets stood up, that serve across the box it almost looked awkward. He just sort of lifted it up into space, and I don't think the defenders were ready for it. Wilson Harris finds the other end of it, and beats Newton.
For Montpremier, it is his 3rd assist of the season. For Harris, it is his 8th goal. And for the Indy 11, the pulse quickens.
Look at that, just a little chip shot. That is a clever ball knocked into the box.
Again, a loss or a draw mean the same for the Indy 11. It means your work is cut out for you on Saturday night. So the thought for Indy isn't to score 1. The thought for Indy is to potentially score 2 or more. And Harris is going to get a talking to from our referee.
Yeah, we talked about it a bit pre-game, and we talked it a bit about in the last match, is really since the early part of August, it's been really tough for Indy 11 to pull any kind of points. It's been kind of a downward spiral for the team from their first place standing from the time you had the restart of the season.
Harris with a left foot. That'll be a corner.
And so you cannot roll into Saturday in a must-win game to extend the season with a loss or a draw tonight. You have to take care of business on this field in Indianapolis right now.
We talked about the double advantage that Indy had last week. That's before they were up 11 men to 9 in the second half. As far as they were on shorter rest against St. Louis, they had the home game, and how both those flipped on Saturday. St. Louis has been off for 7 days by the time that match is played, and again have the home field advantage. Corner coming here. Haworth finds Ioze, and now Pasher screaming forward. Lindley making a supporting run. The ball finds Lindley on the left side. Illich.
Rarely do you see Ioze leave a ball short with Pasher in space.
Final 5 minutes plus stoppage time of the first half, brought to us by your Central Indiana Honda Dealers, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. Pasher lost that ball at his feet. Again, Harris the target. We met. Does just enough to slow up the run.
What a tackle. What a tackle.
Would not think we're looking at a lot of stoppage time here. Had the hydration break, had the yellow shown to Lindley, and then the recent goal. The Indiana Economic Development Corporation is a proud supporter of the Indy 11. Take your business to the next level in a state that works. Ioze waiting.
Indy needs an equalizer before half.
Illich the leave and just couldn't find Io. But great read by Haworth. Connor trying to find Pasher. And Montpremier looking for Harris.
Wow.
Harris with 2 defenders trailing. Now Freeman. Duke makes a run. And Newton parries that one away. And will track it down inside of the 18.
And you saw a little bit on that last build-up from Indy 11. There's still a lot of time left in this match. You can't get into the mindset that everything has got to be a ball straight down the middle of the field into the teeth of the defense. Continue to pop that ball out wide. Look for opportunities to isolate a defender. Look for opportunities to bend that ball in behind the back line.
Keystone Construction is a proud supporter of the Indy 11. It's more than construction, we build a vision. So 3 minutes of added time is what we'll have here in half number one.
The fourth official on the sideline has indicated that a minimum of 3 minutes will be added to the end of the first half.
Haworth. I don't think that was the ball he was looking for. Put that in between Illich and Ioze. Clearly, if you're Indy, you're to some degree chasing this match. You just talked about, hey, you don't have to change up tactically that much if you're Sporting Kansas City. Anything you change up, stake to an early 1-goal lead.
I don't think so, because you come in here in a game plan where you don't need the 3 points, you don't need the 1 point. You're playing for not just pride, but these guys are also playing for contracts and to impress the staff. So I don't think there's any change up in the things that they're doing. And they've been successful here. Really, the last 20, 25 minutes, it's been a fairly even game with probably the more dangerous opportunities falling to Sporting.
Iose. That'll be a goal kick. Pryor fantastic throughout the early portion of this match, making save after save.
And he's the difference. Indy spent a lot of energy in that so far in this first half and generated 3 really dangerous opportunities that Remy Pryor has pulled out of the back of the net. That has completely changed this match. Can Indy muster that same amount of energy to start the second half and generate as many opportunities in the second 45?
Newton hustling over to keep that ball in play.
It's a good switch. Good switch. Open up some channels, grab some real estate.
Lindley trying to find Pasher. Pasher gets it on a second touch. But it's deemed that he touched it last.
Yeah, the tough part, that was almost a no-win ball for Lindley. If he plays it into the right path for Pasher, he's got to overhit it to get it by the defender, and there's not enough space for that ball to stay in bounds, so you have to underhit it and just hope Pasher can find a way to find the other end of it.
Just a couple of seconds left here in half number 1. In fact, that's it. A quick glance at the wristwatch. Sporting Kansas City 2 with a late goal before halftime. It has made it a much more nervous locker room for the Indy 11. They're looking to get more than 1. They were looking to get at least 2 in half number 2 and wrap up that playoff spot before heading west to St. Louis on Saturday night. The goal for Harris, his 8th of the season. The chance is plentiful for the Indy 11, but they've yet to cash in. 1-0, Sporting Kansas City 2 in front. Here on my copy. Sporting Kansas City 2 looking for a second win in this building this year. Harris with the goal. 1-0. They lead the Indy 11 here at halftime. Time for our look around the USL Championship as we get to the final weekend of the season. Again, you see the playoff spots that have been clinched. In the Eastern Conference, that amounts to 5 of the 8. There are 12 matches taking place tonight. There are 16 more on schedule this weekend, and of course, all games available on ESPN+. And the season concludes on Sunday, November the 1st. And for the first time, you can see the USL Cup Final on ESPN+, 8:30 Eastern Time. You can also catch it on ESPN Deportes. Now here's more from around the USL Championship.
Visit USLSoccerShop.com this Friday through Monday to claim at least 20% off at participating clubs' online stores.
What a beauty! It's fantastic! Sensational! Fantastic! Any way you slice it. This one he puts away, fires and scores! What an unbelievable strike. Oh, what a goal!
There's the shot, it scores! Attacking, shooting, and scoring!
The United Soccer League and its 47th championship in League One clubs stand united in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can create change. Together, we are united against racism.
Visit USLSoccerShop.com this Friday through Monday to claim at least 20% off at participating clubs' online stores.
Time for our out-of-town scoreboard, brought to us by the Crown Plaza, Indianapolis downtown. Let them assist you with your next meeting or event. North Carolina FC stays in the playoff hunt as they beat Red Bulls 2 3-0. Charleston has a 1-0 lead on the Miami FC. Charleston has clinched a playoff berth. They are chasing Tampa Bay in their group. Hartford Athletic is also a playoff team for the first time as they take on Philadelphia Union. They've already got a 2-goal lead there. And FC Tulsa trying to wrap up a playoff spot. They have the Oklahoma Derby as they take on OKC Energy coming up later this evening. Now, Louisville and St. Louis are off tonight, but they were in action on Saturday, and that game clearly had an impact on this one, and it was Speedy Williams. They got the lone goal of that match. It was almost an Olympico from Jogo, from Jonathan Gomez. The 1-goal lead held up, and Lou City wrapped up first place in Group E and kept St. Louis behind the Indy 11 going into tonight's match. So standings, and again, this is before tonight's match, frankly, doesn't affect the placing right now with Indy trailing by a goal, but that's the way it shapes up. And again, a draw or a loss tonight for the Indy 11 means that Indy would have to get a win or draw in St. Louis to make the postseason on Saturday.
Yeah, and that's an uphill battle as it is. St. Louis was playing great against Lou City. That corner kick came against the run of play. Greg had 2 offside goals called back. They were buzzing around the box all night. They just couldn't put one in.
A quick check of the Golden Boot standings. Junior Flemings pretty much has that wrapped up. How about the bounce back year that Dane Kelly said? We said bounce back. He had 10 goals for the Indy 11 last year, but the all-time leading goal scorer in the league with 11. Rufat Dadashop 11. Augustine Williams now with 10, and Tyler Pasher, one of a group of 3, currently tied for 5th in the Golden Boot standings with 9 goals on the season. Indy 11 is proud to announce the launch of the Indy 11 Youth Soccer Program, a grassroots initiative that will grow accessibility to the sport across Indiana by supporting recreational soccer programs and partnering youth soccer clubs. The new program will provide support for more than 15,000 rec-level players, launch with 4-member clubs, but not stopping there. If your program is interested, then please visit indy11.com/rec-program. Look at our score at halftime. Sporting Kansas City 2 with a 1-goal lead over the Indy 11. Halftime highlights and stats come your way next on My Indy TV. Okay.
Thank you enough for the gift of joy you granted my daughter. Dear Little Ish, thank you for the PS. Those little things, they mean everything to kids. So that distraction, that moment of happiness, that's what I like to bring to them. Because, you know, when you're a kid, that's all you care about. Those moments of happiness.
Grand Park Sport Campus, the official training facility for Indy 11, is more than sports. With 400 acres of
An absolutely gorgeous night in downtown Indianapolis. The wind's a bit high, so the roof is closed, but the window on downtown Indy is open. The scoring column open for the visitors with Wilson Harris's 8th goal of the season. Sporting Kansas City 2 takes a 1-goal lead to halftime against the Indy 11. Once again, alongside Brad Hodder, Greg Rakestraw with you. We'll hear from Indy 11 head coach Martin Runny coming up in a matter of moments. But Brad, your thoughts on the opening 45?
Well, it was a fun 45 to watch, but you're frustrated. You spent a lot of energy. You've created some dynamic chances. Remy Prieur was just better on 3 shots than you were in the 18.
The highlight reel will feature a lot of the visiting netminder tonight, again, because the Indy 11 got a lot of looks on goal, especially in the opening 12 minutes of play.
And I tell you, just a great ball by Carl Howarth to hit Pasher in stride. Prieur's just on fire.
Pasher's had a couple of good looks here. Great distribution. Iose elevates that one up and over the crossbar.
Yeah, I love that. Even think he might have been able to bend that in behind the back line for Illich.
Again, that one, Tyler did not hit the way that he wanted to. Prieur able to spill it. This service from Pasher, fantastic. But Prieur gets just a hand or two on it to slow it down. And here's the one that found the back of the net for the visitors from Kansas City.
Yep, and just the difference in the game is that Montpremier had a pitching wedge in his bag.
Again, absolutely lifted it up and over to defenders, and Harris bends it in. So 1-0 is our score at halftime in favor of Sporting Kansas City 2. And with that, already standing by is the head coach of the Indy 11 and Martin Runny. As always, Coach, thanks for your time. And just again, your thoughts about the situation you're in going for 2 down a goal.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, honestly, we played well in that first half. We had a lot of chances. We had the ball almost all the time. Disappointing, of course, to give up a goal, but we just need to keep our confidence and keep going. We'll get more chances. Now we need to make sure we take them.
From a finishing standpoint, what do you got to do to get it turned around?
That's really individual. Players have to put the ball in the back of the net. They're putting themselves in good positions. The team's setting up a lot of chances. Now we need to take responsibility, and we have to finish. That's ultimately, each player has to do it when they get their chance, and I'm sure they will.
All right, thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Head coach of the Indy 11, Martin Runny, kind enough to join us at halftime. He'll also join us after the match, along with an Indy 11 player or two. What's the mindset of the guys coming out of the locker room right now, Brad?
I'll tell you, you got to lock in. You've got to be focused. He hit the nail on the head right there. You're generating the opportunities collectively. The collective accountability is there. Now it's the individual accountability of the player that's in the box in that moment, putting the ball in the back of the net.
Quick check of the halftime stats now from half number 1. As far as shots and shots on target, both teams with numerous shots. Both teams getting a good look at shots on target. Possession heavily in favor of the Indy 11, but I think the shots on target stat is more indicative of to how closely played this match was in half number 1.
Yeah, and there have been some turnovers in midfield. There's been some opportunities in transition for Sporting KC that have kept the shots even though the possession is slanted clearly in Indy's favor.
So both teams have about 90 seconds to get ready for the second half of play. Now you see Wilson Harris at the age of 20. I'll admit to you, Brad, in doing preparation for this match, I kind of looked up the Sporting Kansas City roster and said, okay, who does he need to find a way to kind of slide past to get playing time? And you wonder, knowing that this team's schedule is over as of Saturday, does he get a look with the Major League Soccer side, knowing they still have a handful of regular season matches left to play?
You know the answer to that question. How do you not give the kid a look? He's done everything that's been asked of him at this level.
He is not on a Major League Soccer contract. He is on a USL contract, so there'd be some paperwork that would be involved in that move, but You got to think that Peter Vermees he has to give him a look at some point. He has been too successful. He had 12 goals last year in this league as a 19-year-old.
And the great part about a few games left and him not being on an MLS contract, before you decide to lock him up, you get a chance to actually see him at that level.
So both teams are ready. I don't think we see any substitute. We do. Andrew Carleton is into the match. All right, so there is a sub from an offensive standpoint for the Indy 11. I believe he is in for Cam Lindley, doing a quick check of the players on the field. There was a wonderful feature written by Jeff Reuter about Carleton for The Athletic. It was debuted yesterday, and it's really having an extended conversation as to a lot of what Martin Running has said about Carleton all season long, and that he has been an absolute pro at the age of 20. Had a couple of off-field slip-ups in his days with Atlanta United. Did not get much of a look with the Major League Soccer team. But he has been a find for the Indy 11 on loan from Atlanta this year. Iose trying to find a window of space.
And we talked about this during the keys of the game. One of the things that he brings is the ability to complicate the game for Sporting Kansas City. He does not play straight line, end-to-end, touchline, touchline to touchline. He plays diagonal. He plays three-dimensional. He plays
like
balls
that?
like that.
Pasher couldn't get to it, but it took Carleton 65 seconds to have an impact on this match.
Yeah.
And Carleton was the guy that sprang Pasher for a couple of goals in early August. And these are teams that have not found the back of the net often. Indy has 19 goals this season. Sporting Kansas City, too, is sitting on 18, so just a little bit more than a goal a match.
And the thing that's tough about Carleton and Illich, they're guys that see all the runs, see all the pockets, see all the space, and when that ball comes into them, it doesn't take multiple touches. It's just a flick. It's just a touch.
And there they team up immediately, meaning Illich and Carleton. Howarth sends it across. Connor couldn't get to it. Pierre got there first. Gibson sticks his nose into battle. And a throw-in coming for the Indy 11. Again, just that pressure from Gibson allowed the possession to continue.
And that's also what kept Prier on his line.
And by the way, I want to apologize to Remy. I swore that I had heard that last name as Pryor during the course of the season. But the way he played, he deserved to have his name pronounced properly.
Absolutely.
So our apologies, Remy. Barrett. Rad able to get in the way of that. And the flick by Barrett finds a player on the opposite team. It's 2v4, but that's a talented 2v4. Harris, can he find an angle? Try to get it to Freeman. Hackshaw got in the way.
Yeah, and that's the tough thing. We've seen this already twice right now, is the 1v1 on a ball driven in the air into Wilson Harris and winning that initial ball, but not putting it far enough away to get you out of danger.
Carleton finds Pasher. Carleton again. Left
Yes!
foot! Andrew Carleton, take a bow. In the match for 3.5 minutes and gives the Indy 11 an equalizing goal.
What a ball. What a ball. Just the bit of energy that Indy needs to get back on the front foot for the remaining 40 minutes of this match.
Not a bad time for your first Indy 11 goal. Rather needed by the boys in blue. Carleton has been the distributor so often. This time lets it go, and Prier just could not latch onto it. Again, one is nice. One more still needed for the Indy 11.
Andrew Carleton in the 49th minute.
20th Indy 11 goal of the season. First for number 30 after he had 3 assists on the campaign.
And while a win gets you in and those 3 points make a difference, A draw, getting that equalizer right now, puts you in a position where you can get by with the draw in St. Louis and still advance.
Good read by Barrett. This portion of this match is presented by the Denny Companies. Tearing down the past so you can build the future. The future looking a bit brighter, the immediate future for the Indy 11. Duke to Montpremier. Sporting Kansas City 2 will finish their season at Lou City on Saturday night. Both those matches will kick off simultaneously at 7:30 Eastern Time. Again, Louisville has wrapped up a home playoff match in week number 1 against either Hartford or Pittsburgh, likely Hartford. However, they are playing to rack up as many points as possible to try to extend home playoff matches beyond week number 1. So for 2 times in 4 days on the road, Sporting Kansas City 2 will play highly motivated sides in each of their last 2 games. Sporting Kansas City 2 does own a win in each of those buildings this year. Opportunity here. Ball played back to Newton. Barrett will lead the charge. Again, long distance ball to Pasher. And wants that left side. Now Connor. Carlton again, the flick.
Clever. Just a little punch in behind the back line. Ball holds up with that backspin. Give your guys an opportunity to flash through.
Fans, Indy 11 Premium Suites are the perfect way to entertain your guests. Learn more at Indy11.com. Call 317-685-1100. Harris looks to make the turn. Off the boot of Carl Ouimet.
That's the great thing about Harris. He can play with his back to goal as a target. He can create his own shot. He can play in space. He can be a guy that you send through, and he can finish.
Now room to operate for Iose.
You got Carlton right underneath.
Little 2-man game between Iose and Pasher is never a bad thing. The party broken up by Pierre, the academy product for Sporting Kansas City, making his 2nd appearance at this level for SKC2. Now Haworth. And an unnecessary push with no ramifications for it. Given by Davis. Pasher across, looking back post. Illich was in the neighborhood. Haworth gives it a blast. That did take a turn off an SKC2 player. Corner coming for the Indy 11. And we've seen both corners go short for the Indy 11.
Look at this setup. Haworth, Pasher, and Iose got a 3v2.
And Hackshaw lurking outside of the 6, backside. Illich immediately in front of Prier.
And this ball knocked back to Iose was the ball that was sent in to Hackshaw against St. Louis for the goal.
Now Pasher. Hackshaw! Not that time.
Lurking in that same spot.
and had his second goal of the season. At the age of 24 when the year began. This is his 5th year in the USL Championship. This is the first time for Neville that he has had multiple goals in a season. He did turn 25 as of last Monday. For standings, stats, all the latest league news, be sure to visit USLsoccer.com. Carlton, the lead for Iose. Tries to play it across, not much of an angle there. Throw in coming for the Indy 11 in minute number 56. I saw a wonderful congratulatory Facebook post for Neville's goal from his mother Bernadette after last Wednesday's match. A very proud mom in Trinidad and Tobago. That's off the boot of Connor. Throw in coming for SKC2. The USL and its clubs thank the fans for their unwavering support this season. As a thank you, visit the new USLsoccershop.com between Friday and Monday to find a special discount code for your favorite club's online store. That's the new USLsoccershop.com to find a code for your favorite club's online store.
Great movement.
Io will track it down. And that will be a throw, not a corner, off the boot of Dylan Cerna. And all 5 subs remain for Sporting Kansas City 2. Now 4 subs with 2 windows to get them in for the Indy 11, and that's a foul on Carlton. And that will give the Sporting Kansas City 2 defenders a moment to breathe, because they have been on the back foot now for the better part of the last 10 minutes. Look at Paulo Nagamura. Spent time with Chivas USA, Sporting Kansas City 2, the LA Galaxy. Amongst various stops in his 12 years of playing soccer here in the States. Finished his days with Sporting Kansas City. Now his 3rd year as the head coach of their USL franchise. And Hackshaw.
It's a great recovery by Neville.
And a little something to say for Harrison. Again, that's Neville can be upset about it. Thought there was an elbow, but I thought that was a rather just a tactical foul taken by Harris. What I didn't see if there was kind of an arm extended. But the jersey tug was just an admission, hey, you've got me beaten, I'm going to take you down and prevent a counterattack. Throw in coming for Sporting Kansas City 2. This portion of this match presented by Community Health Sports Medicine. Exceptional care simply delivered. Connor. Duke able to get in the way of that one before Carlton could connect to it. And now Montpremier had a run going. The Lucas Oil Stadium turf thought otherwise.
Yeah, we played that one perfectly.
It is his 3rd year playing in the building. He knows it well. Haworth finds Illich. For Illich, this is just his 4th start of the season. You do wonder, could Illich be maybe the next substitution, just because he has not really, I wouldn't say he's not 90 minutes match fit. Harris.
Well read, Evan Newton.
And not only does Newton make the save, but he keeps it in play. He doesn't give up the corner. And then Hackshaw earns a throw in for the Indy 11.
And I think going back to Ilya Illich, you take a look at the amount of pressure that was extended by Indy 11 in that first 30 minutes. That does take a toll on a guy who's only got 4 starts so far this year.
Yeah, Ilya basically has averaged about 35 minutes an appearance this season. Freeman plays it across. Montpremier roofs it.
Oh, that ball just bounced and sat up a little too high for him.
But it is deemed to have taken a deflection off an Indy 11 player. So corner coming for Sporting Kansas City 2.
If he could have just had that ball sitting a little bit lower, it's 2-1.
Again, a draw means nothing for the Indy 11. It's all about a win. A loss or a draw gives you the same permutation of what you've got to do if you're Indy. And that is win or draw in St. Louis on Saturday. Kansas City playing for pride. Kansas City playing to impress. Those on the MLS side of the organization.
Oh, tough, tough.
Met
got tangled up backside.
Well, Barbier is a tough guy to untangle from. A rather sizable lad. Barbier from Pennsylvania, but spent a lot of his formative days playing soccer in Europe. He was playing in Germany before signing with Sporting Kansas City 2. Pasher, the target. Pasher gives it a go with his right foot. Prier is there.
Yeah, Drew Connor's got a clever little touch tonight.
This Indy 11 side does not lack for soccer IQ. Bit of a giveaway by Hackshaw there. First extended spell of possession this half for Sporting Kansas City 2. And home finale for the Indy 11 during the regular season. This ends a 5-match homestand at Lucas Oil Stadium. Only 4 points pulled from those last 4 home matches. And now a foul on Gibson. Ian Duke trying to occupy the same space. Indy went from July 4th of 2018 to August 1st of 2020 without a loss in this building. Those losses have been a bit too frequent since that time. Indy entered this match 7-2-1 against teams not named Lou City FC. But one of that 2 was to Kansas City. Here, Cerna couldn't blast it through. And Iose will spill it back to the middle of the park. Now Carlton. Carlton playing with that significantly bandaged hand for the Indy 11. He's been dealing with that for about a month now, and again, that's going to require surgery at some point. But he has put off surgery to try to finish this season with his teammates here in Indy.
Love that. You know how much respect you earn from your teammates when you do that?
We met. Iose, just a little left of Pasher.
Tell you, right thought, right thought.
Get a good look at that wrap, and frankly, it's a little less bulky than it has been the last few games for Carlton.
And I tell you, it's not just the goal. His touches have been incredibly impactful since he's entered this match. Got to find him while he's in this zone. You got to find more touches for him.
It has been rare that either team's been able to kind of just knock it around the back at any point tonight. A moment for both sides to breathe a bit. Now the attack is back on, and Carlton will lead it. trying to find Pasher. And that one goes straight from the noggin of Rad to Prier. This portion of this match is brought to us by the Cube. Download the Indy 11 app, play the Indy 11 Cube. Pre and post game, you can play in stadium and if you're at home or anywhere across the world. Sign up and play right now.
Every time we see Sporting Kansas City 2 play, they amaze me that they've struggled so much this year.
4 wins, 9 losses, and a draw for SKC2. On the front foot here. Well done. That's Haworth. Last year they were very much towards the back of the pack, and they will finish, barring they win the last 2 matches, and St. Louis loses to Indy on Saturday. That's the only permutation that would have SKC2 finish at least tied for 3rd in this 4-team group. But they have been a far more competitive side this year than they were a year ago. And again, their MO, as far as the 2 teams are concerned, it has been they and Red Bulls 2 who have consistently been the best over the years. Now Ioze, looking back post. Ball got through a couple of waves of both defenders and attacking players, and eventually settled by Montpremier. This is going to be a rare year where Red Bulls 2 does not play in the postseason. Barrett a touch, but keeps the attack alive for Sporting Kansas City 2. This year has not been kind to the 2 teams as far as the postseason is concerned. LA Galaxy 2 is battling for a postseason spot in the group that rivals this one out west. Group B that includes Phoenix, San Diego, the LA Galaxy, and Orange County. Pasher the target here.
Ball.
Pasher right foot. Prier is there. And now Freeman with an outstanding run going, and Barrett with a fantastic stop to slow it down, but comes up a bit gimpy behind the play. So we'll keep an eye on Patty Barrett as play continues at the other end. Illich holds it up for Connor. Ioze won it. Ioze gets it. Pasher. And usually it's with the foot, not the forehead. Substitution awaits for Indy in Nick Moon. A look at the last blast on goal for Tyler Pasher. By the way, the substitution, as we are showing you the replay, we had surmised that Ilya Illich might be the next guy to leave the field. He is. Nick Moon will replace him. And also, Matt Watson will come on to replace Drew Connor. And all gas, no brakes, Drew Connor flies off the field. So there is Moon, who last time he saw Sporting Kansas City 2 scored in the 3rd minute of the match.
And I'd say he brings, a little bit more pace right now, not just going forward, but also in the press from Indy 11.
It also gives you more of a target player as well in hold-up play. And Watson's just simply fresher legs than Connor. And off to the races goes Moon, and Moon is fouled. Well done in the first series of touches by Nick Moon tonight. This portion of this match, we'll show you the replay here. We'll tell you about a sponsor coming up after that. Moon drawing the foul. Now that we have done that, let's thank our friends at the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. Indiana, a state that works.
And you cannot sleep on the Ioze to Hackshaw combination at the back of the 6, where he somehow finds himself free every time.
Looking back post, didn't get through to Ouimet. We talk about the Ioze and Hackshaw connection. He and Ouimet have produced some beauties over the years as well. Anybody who plays with Ayoze has a better chance of scoring a goal.
I'm not sure I'd be able to put one away if I was there with him.
I like your chances. Moon gets a last touch. Goal kick coming for Prier and SKC 2. Watson, his first activity of the night. And he is fouled by Davis. Matt's only given up 17 years in that equation.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, the 17 years in IQ was the difference there. The way he just kept taking a little half step to give himself enough space, another half step to give him enough space.
Can Ayoze latch into that? Nope. So 2 subs remain available for the Indy 11 if needed. With 1 window to do it, all 5 at the discretion of Sporting Kansas City 2.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the balls that have been very effective for Patty Barrett tonight have been the ones where he's been able to advance it a little bit centrally, shrink Sporting KC into the middle of the field, and then look and find Howarth or Ayoze out wide.
Bon Premier with a fantastic run going. That was a handball, yep. Freeman knew he had no chance. That was kind of chicken-winged it.
He's going to fire that ball at my chest.
Howarth. Distribution to Moon. Moon. That was not the intended target. He's trying to blast that through Rad. He was trying to switch up sides of the attack.
Yeah, and I tell you, if the 11 can break the initial line of pressure and find Ayoze, he was all alone on the backside.
Advantage being played. Watson was late getting to that ball. And Sporting Kansas City 2 had possession long enough for Indy to maintain possession. Pasher trying to find a seam. Davis is now risen off of the turf, so we play on. Counter opportunity here, but Hackshaw held his line, and Harris offside. And a card will be shown to Watson for
Yellow card caution has
the
been issued by
boot to the leg. That was inadvertent, but deemed as enough of a reckless challenge to earn him his 2nd yellow of the season. You know, Indy player is close to the 8 yellow card plateau that potentially has you sit for a match. It was lifted from 5 earlier this year. Hackshaw and Barrett each with 4. And a throw-in coming for Indy. Moon finds Carlton. Little back heel for Moon. Couldn't get to it.
Here we looked at the stats at halftime where possession was split 65-35 in favor of Indy 11.
Ayoze back post, Pasher.
And the shots were even. And this, last 10-15 minutes have been kind of the same thing. There's been a lot of great possession, a lot of opportunities generated by Indy 11, but it's been those quick hits, those transitional moments for Sporting Kansas City that have made them dangerous.
Saw the quick shot of the folks in the Brickyard Battalion. And obviously this year has been unlike any other year in the history of the franchise. But we cannot thank those fans that have made it to Lucas Oil Stadium enough. And we hope to be able to see all of you in a much more filled stadium capacity a year from now. Let's all hope for that next March or April. Pasher. Not enough of Rad to be whistled for a foul. Those that have been here have, well, tried to make up for the absences of so many around them from a noise perspective. Cave Rad, the player that was fouled. Cave wears number 48, Jahan number 84. Good work by Watson. This portion of this match presented in part by Ivy Tech, with in-demand programs like information technology, healthcare, supply chain, and advanced manufacturing. Ivy Tech Community College is the place to get started or continue working toward your educational goals. Pasher with his run going. Iose plays opposite side for Moon. Moon, right foot, side netting.
What a look.
Hydration break coming for each of these two teams.
And I tell you, this is the place right now where you must win. You don't want to roll into to St. Louis on Saturday. There's 15 minutes left in this match. You've got to find that energy to continue to press higher up the field, find the repossession, see if you can get some transitional moments, and the focus in the box has got to be there.
Good job by Barbeer to do just enough from a shoulder standpoint to get Moon off of his line. Carlton, the equalizing goal, coming in the 49th minute. His first in an Indy 11 uniform. He's been a part of so many others from an assist standpoint. He found the first one. Indy looking for at least one more. And give Pasher the assist on that one. His second of the year.
And I'll tell you, something that's lining up. The Indy 11 is doing a good job of finding Iose out on the outside with one defender on him. Can you send some support, and can you work in combination and see if you can attack the front post instead of continuing to just drive that ball into the box?
Can you see the graphic on your screen? The math has gotten quite simple. Win and they're in for the Indy 11. Last year, a pair of playoff victories at home to the New York Red Bulls, too. On the road at Nashville SC, before falling at home to Lou City in the Eastern Conference Championship. The year before, it was one and done, a loss at Louisville. Again, Indy can still make the playoffs with a win or a draw at St. Louis on Saturday. But life would be a lot easier with a victory here at home tonight.
Just get it done.
You got about 17 or 18 more minutes to have that opportunity. Good read by Pierre.
Academy, you say?
Correct.
Unreal.
Good step by Ouimet as well. Oh, the future is quite bright for Sporting Kansas City. That is obvious with what we have seen over the course of this season. Fans, you can follow the Indy 11 and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+. Home of the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the nearly 8 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. And Pierre is 17 years old.
Look at the energy that Sporting Kansas City is still pressing with.
And they have yet to use a substitution tonight. Have SKC too. Good win by Watson.
Get that touch.
Now Haworth. Watson the lead for Carlton. Haworth can recycle it, but Montpremier gets in the way. What a night it's been for Montpremier. And Ouimet strips him.
And I'll tell you, that's brilliantly done by Ouimet because he's kind of caught in no man's land. Harris is on the edge with Patty Barrett. If Montpremier can break the press of Ouimet, Harris is in.
And that's a foul. Well earned by Haworth. Watch Wish TV, your local news source, online at wishtv.com. Iose looking for Moon. Moon couldn't keep it in play. And the good news is for Sporting Kansas City, too, there will be no parking of the bus in the final 15 minutes. They will be equally as interested in going for goal. Nice skill by Barrett. Pasher trying to find Iose, just didn't get enough on that pass, but Carlton was hoping Moon could read it that quickly.
And I love the thought process of the flicks and the touches into space, but in that moment he had more space and time to collect it and deliver a better ball.
First two subs are about to enter for Sporting Kansas City 2. Recitar and LaFleur. Here's the combination if Moon can get to it. Pasher finds a way. Pasher leaves for Carlton. Carlton just couldn't keep it on target. So those first two substitutions, Dominic Recitar, who has appeared in every match this year for Sporting Kansas City 2, as you watch the latest shot on goal that just veered wide. So Recitar will come in. Montpremier's night is over with. And Townsend, the night is over for Tyler Freeman as Isaac LaFleur, or Isaiah LaFleur, will come in to replace him. Another 17-year-old from Minneapolis.
Tell you what, though, Freeman and Montpremier, great performance tonight from both of them.
So some fresh legs to give chase for Sporting Kansas City 2.
Leaving the match 23, Tyler Freeman. Also entering 34, Dominic Recitar.
Crown Plaza downtown Indianapolis is the official host hotel of the Indy 11. Book your stay at Crown Plaza Indy downtown.com. LaFleur just entered and has an opportunity here. Left foot. It's directly at Evan Newton. And now he will launch Carl Haworth on a flyer. Carlton the lead for Watson, who lets it slide on through to Iose. Now Moon. Moon, can he get back to it? He does. Haworth steers for Carlton. Gibson letting everybody get lined up and get back on side. Matt Watson. Carlton. There's too much traffic to get through for Carlton. And 9 players behind the ball. And now make it 10 in addition to Prier in goal. Iose.
An uncharacteristic mistouch by Iose, but as you mentioned it, 9 guys, 10 guys behind the ball. The middle is so jammed up. There's just no space to slip that ball through. You got to go outside. You got to try and pull a couple guys outside, see if you can either work in combination or find that ball back in, bent behind.
Juan Guerra has been dispatched to, I believe, go grab Jeremy Raffanello to enter this match to give another scoring target. Christian Duke is the player that is down for Sporting Kansas City 2. There you see Rafa, who had the game winner against SKC 2 some 3 weeks ago. And Duke is done for the night. Bailey Sparks will come in to replace him, as the average age of the SKC2 roster continues to get younger. Sparks is 17 years of age. He happens to be born on what I think is the greatest athletic birthday of all time, December 30th. He shares a birthday with both Tiger Woods, LeBron James, and Sandy Koufax.
Substitution, Sporting Kansas City 2 in the 86th minute.
Now you are looking at me in a mesmerized state as to how I have that off the top of my head, correct?
The volume of statistics that you chart and record that are of value and necessary in a broadcast is phenomenal. The amount of stats that you also process and retain that have no bearing on much of anything but are interesting,
well, thank you,
is incredible.
Would you like to know why I have those birthdays committed to memory on that date?
I want to know so much about
because
what goes on in
it's
your...
also my birthday. That's why I knew that so quickly.
Oh, you left one of the greats out of that mix then.
Foul behind the play. And I think, remember, the birthday club has committed that foul. And Sparks, a very Drew Connor-like entrance into the game for the 17-year-old, committed a yellow card-worthy foul against Carl Ouimet behind the play. By the way, our final 5 minutes plus stoppage time is brought to us by your Central Indiana Honda Dealers, official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11.
Iose just grabbed 3 yards. Nobody kept him in check. If nobody picks up Hackshaw back post.
Carlton. Watson couldn't clear it through, and now the counter is on for Sporting Kansas City 2. Pasher was the last line of defense and does enough to slow things up for Indy. Good read by Watson. Watson.
Had a little slip through to Pasher.
Pasher now has recycled back towards the front. Moon couldn't keep it at his feet. Watson with space to operate. Moon. At the edge of the 6, ball couldn't get through. Carlton will settle. Carlton the blast, that's deflected. That will be a corner. And the courtesy phone is for Iose to head to that flag. By the way, with Raffanello entering the match, that means the subs are done for the Indy 11. So this is the 11 you will see on the field for whatever duration of this match is remaining.
And this ball, and you expect it from Iose, has to be one that is dangerous, out of reach of Prier, and someone's got to go up and get it.
Sends it in. We met the header, but not on target. Up and over the ball. We met yet to get a goal this year. Did have 2 assists in the victory against Hartford back in late July. And a frequent target of Iose's serves from those corners over the last 3 years that they have been teammates. Minute number 89. And as it stands now, the Indy 11 are 2 points clear of St. Louis FC. That is the same as 1. Newton got there in time.
Yeah, here you've probably got 5, maybe 6 minutes left in this match, and you just got to play it at such an elevated pace. Grab the 3 points tonight, make Saturday night irrelevant.
Because if you don't, now you have to recover in 72 hours while getting on a bus for some 3.5, 4 hours to get there. Playing against a team trying to extend their franchise for at least another week. Raffanello got a boot to it, but couldn't keep it in play. You can take the boys in blue with you wherever you go. Download the all-new Indy 11 app in the Apple Store or get it on Google Play. Opportunity here. And Newton all over it. Moon able to hurdle the sliding tackle. Nifty cut back from Moon. Better find to get Howarth.
And great decision.
Howarth trying to get it right back to Moon. Moon, the back heel to Carlton. Carlton couldn't keep it in play. Well, as you alluded to, 5 minutes will be added on here. This Indy 11 team, other than a Tyler Pasher goal in Pittsburgh, they have not been one of the 90-minute magic variety this year. But certainly Tyler has been that guy at times over the last couple of seasons. Could he do it one more time? Howarth for Raffanello. Raffanello trying to break free of Cerna. As Pasher or Moon lurking around the 6, that's a corner. Raffanello played that one past his 20-year-of-age experience.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, he's got such an aggressive mindset. He's always thinking forward. He's always thinking, take a shot.
Iose sends it in. Ouimet. And now punted towards midfield. Deflection by Recitar. About a minute or so of that 5 minutes of added time have been eaten up here by Sporting Kansas City 2. Good turn by Hackshaw.
And I'm comfortable sending up Hackshaw, sending up Patty Barrett. You know, a loss and a draw do the same thing. You have to win in St. Louis. So if you spend some numbers up, try and press the ball higher up the field, see if you can get an opportunity like this.
Great tackle by Pierre. Now Kuich finds Pierre.
Oh, what a ball. Oh, he had him.
Couldn't get it to Recitar in time. And now plays it to him when he is a good 3 yards offside.
Oh, Pierre had a ball bent in behind Hackshaw to Recitar and missed it.
And both these teams will play on the road on Saturday. Sporting Kansas City 2 knows it'll be their last of the season. The Indy 11 hope it will not be their last of the season. Howarth, Raffanello's onside. Plays it across. Pasher awaits. Pasher.
Oh, it just held up a little too high.
Great vision by Raffanello. He saw Pasher calling for it. But it's not been Tyler's night.
You needed a ball, and you know Pasher was hoping for the same thing, like the one that was sent across to him in Louisville to equalize in that match.
Still a couple of more opportunities left in this match for both sides. Good run here by Recitar. Ouimet trails. Ball does not get across, but it will be a corner. And again, Sporting Kansas, they will throw numbers forward here.
Yeah, leave Pasher up top. See if you can just find Sporting KC 2 just out of shape a little bit and drive a ball into space for Pasher.
That was Carlton, you heard, kind of giving directions as far as coverage is concerned that our field mics picked up. Newton, Ouimet, and Barbier involved in hand-to-hand combat in front of the goal line. KC goes short. I don't think they're playing for a 1-1 draw here. I could be wrong.
I don't know what good that does them.
40 seconds plus maybe a little more for the Indy 11. The lead for Kulich. Kulich.
What a find.
Sparks. Sparks finds the back of the net. And Indy will have to go to St. Louis and get a win to continue their season. Bailey Sparks, at 17 years of age, gets the goal for SKC2.
What a fine slipping that ball through, and what a finish.
For Sparks, this was his first appearance in a USL Championship match, and he scores his first USL Championship goal.
2 goals scored by 43. Bailey Sparks in stoppage time.
And it certainly appears for a second time in 4 tries that Kansas City will come in and take all 3 points home with them.
Yeah, and I tell you what a ball by Kulich. Just takes a little touch to move a defender outside, slips the ball underneath to Sparks.
For Kulich, it's his 3rd assist of the season. And it's a very quiet building at Lucas Oil. And that's it. Again, a loss and a draw feel the same to the Indy 11. But a win feels absolutely exquisite for the visitors from Kansas City. Harris gets his 8th of the season. Sparks gets his 1st at this level. And it all adds up. Sporting Kansas City 2 getting a 2-1 victory over the Indy 11. And now the Indy 11 either must win or draw in St. Louis on Saturday night to make their way into the postseason for a 3rd consecutive year.
Yeah, unfortunate. Even though, you know, a loss and a draw present you with the same result that needs to happen on Saturday, it feels different when you give one up that late in the match.
It is the 4th time over the last 2 months that the Indy 11 have lost in this building after having not done so for nearly 25 months. Shot of the game, save of the game. Come your way next on My Indy TV. Indy 11 Soccer is brought to you by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, proud to be the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. And by Community Health, exceptional care simply delivered. Community Health Network. Indy 11 Soccer is brought to you by your Central Indiana Honda dealers, proud to be the official automotive sponsor of the Indy 11. And by Community Health, exceptional care simply delivered. Community Health Network. 2-1, Sporting Kansas City 2 gets the victory at Lucas Oil Stadium this evening. Time for our post-game hardware. We start with the shot of the game. And it's a young man who is not old enough to enjoy West Fork whiskey, Indiana's premier whiskey distillery. 17 years young, Bailey Sparks gets the game winner for SKC2 in minute number 95.
And I tell you what, great find by Kulich. And then you look at Sparks, the ball gets caught underneath his feet. He stays with it, finds the ball into the upper window for the game winner.
Time now for our save of the game, brought to us by Black Orchid Barbers. Book your appointment today at blackorchidbarbers.com. the hands by Newton to prevent that goal. But again, SKC2 found the back of the net once in each half. The first one from Wilson Harris, the second one at the death from Bailey Sparks.
Yeah, this is a tough ball because this is hit really well, but it also finds its way between three players.
And so now if you're the Indy 11, you have to forget about this game. Quick, fast, and for the final time this regular season, the Indy 11 will exit Lucas Oil Stadium. There is hope to play here again come postseason time, but to do that, a win or a draw has to take place on Saturday. Indy 11 fall 2-1 tonight to Sporting Kansas City 2. Kind enough to join us after a tough loss as the head coach of the Indy 11. In Martin Running. All right, Coach, just overall, your thoughts on how this one unfolded tonight.
Yeah, I think the first half we played really well. It was one of the best performances we've put in a half. We created a lot of chances, and unfortunately we didn't take any of them, so that was disappointing. Even to add insult to injury, we lost a goal on the other end when the opponent really hadn't had any chances. So that was a rough first half, but I thought we started the second half really well. Got a good goal from Andrew Carlton, who came on and looked lively and created good passing opportunities and chances. But the story was really the same in the second half, where we were on top really all the time, had a lot of chances, again didn't take any of those chances, and then get caught with a sucker punch goal at the end. So we've been in a run like that now, I think 3 games in a row at home, where we've been on top, maybe not as much as we were tonight, and got caught with goals on the break. And really that's the story of our last kind of certainly 3 games, but maybe even a few more. And so that's very disappointing. We've just not been taking our chances. We've been creating quite a lot, and then also we've not been doing quite well enough to stop those counter-attacks on the other side. So that leaves us in a position where now we need to go and get a draw or better in the next game, which we're very capable of. So we have to dust ourselves down and get on with it and get ready for the next one and get ourselves into that postseason.
I was going to say, is the recovery from this one tougher from the mental standpoint or the physical standpoint, knowing you're playing again on the road in 72 hours?
Yeah, I think honestly, it's good that it comes so quick. You don't really have time to dwell on it. All you can do is recover and go, and that's going to be good. I think not having too much time to think about the game in this particular case will help us. We had a great chance tonight to put it all to bed and we didn't take it. That's kind of been the case for a number of games now, where we really should have been home and clear a long time ago, but we've still got the chance to do it. This is the last chance to do it, and now we must make sure we take it.
Yeah, so you mentioned that you generate a lot of opportunities here, and whether it's near misses or a little lack of focus in the box, or you run into a hot goalkeeper like you had with Prier tonight, what kind of frustration does that lead to at halftime? And how much do you have to address that, or are guys already locked in on what needs to happen?
Well, I don't think, at halftime everybody's got to just focus on what we've got to do in the second half. It's ultimately been something that's been a problem for a while that we need to remedy. We have to get players who are putting the ball in the net on a regular basis. We can't be dominating teams like we are without scoring any goals or not scoring enough goals. And I think that's something that we definitely need to address and need to improve upon. But at the same time, we have to take the chances that come our way. We have to keep our focus and do a little bit better job of staying calm, staying composed, and making sure we get the right finish.
Yeah, so what's the conversation now at this point? You've addressed the problem. You guys know the problem. You know what has to happen on Saturday. So what are the buttons that you get to push here over these next couple days that put you in the right spot?
Yeah, we need to pick ourselves up. I mean, I think that anybody who's watched our games would say that we've been a little bit unlucky actually in quite a few games here, and at a certain point little things turn your way and go your way, and we need to make sure that happens for us on Saturday. We'll have to work hard to make sure it does, but we're in a great position to do it, and the other team has to win. That can be a good opportunity for us as well.
Coach, we appreciate your time, buddy, and we'll talk to you on Saturday.
All right, thank you.
Head coach Martin Running of the Indy 11. We're about to talk to the goal scorer tonight for the Indy 11, and Andrew Carlton, and again, his presence was noticeable a few seconds in. His goal came less than 4 minutes from the time he entered this match.
Yeah, and I think even prior to that, you had a couple of balls that came into him that were just flicks and balls that he played guys into space. So the impact was felt, before the goal. It was just in the way that he changed things right behind the front two.
Again, he was the focus of a really cool profile piece from Jeff Reuter from The Athletic. Yesterday, today, he has a first-time goal scored, albeit in a losing effort for the Indy 11. It's Andrew Carlton that joins us now. Congrats on that first Indy 11 goal. I know you wish it had come in a victory for the team, but just overall, your thoughts about the 45 minutes of effort you gave tonight.
Yeah, I mean, anytime as an attacking player that you can contribute with a goal or an assist is always positive, and I felt like I did well out there. Unfortunately the result did go our way, But I really feel like we're like one little step away from being really, really good and winning these games by 2, 3, 4 goals. And I really think it's just the difference of putting our chances away, and I think we're winning most of these games.
All right, well, you did have a chance to put yours away, and we're going to show it to the viewing audience right now. Walk us through what you saw in the play.
The one that went just wide?
No, the one that you were able to score upon, that left-footed one.
Yeah, I mean, Patrick was just going down the line, and, I like to be right there around the penalty spot, top of the box, and, he found me, and then, I just took a touch and was close enough to the goal. I felt like it was time to shoot, and I hadn't shot that much this year, so I finally let one go, and it was a nice finish, went in the corner, and we were back in it.
Yep, great opportunity for the first one. So, right before the team went into the locker room at halftime, Martin pulls you aside and starts talking to you a bit. At that point, is he telling you that to be ready, that you might go in at some point in the second half, or that you're going to be a sub entering the second half? And are there tactical instructions that come in that meeting as well?
Yeah, Juan, the assistant coach, came up and just kind of said, like, I was going to go in at the start of the second half. And he just kind of walked me through, like, the set pieces and gave me a couple pointers on, like, where to try to find the pockets at within their defense, and that was about it.
And then, so I've always respected guys that are playing through injuries and carrying that other burden. How difficult is it when, you're having this, and we've seen it shrink a little bit over the last couple matches, but at first it was like you're wearing a pillow on that arm. How does that change your run and your ability to play the way you traditionally play?
Yeah, I mean, I met with the hand specialist the day in training that I fractured my hand in 3 spots, and he strongly advised me getting surgery and told me that, I would miss most of the season and probably be back right around this time going into playoffs, now about a month and a little bit ago. And I just felt like, I wanted to finish the season. I'd missed so much time in my career for dumb mistakes that I felt like, it was time to show that I'm passionate about this and show that, like, I'm ready to go. And so I just battled through it. I told him I didn't want to have surgery and just to put whatever you had to put on it to protect it, and then I was going to go and give it my all. So, I felt like I owed that to myself and to the team to be able to give it my all.
Final question before we let you go. How much contact are you with the guys in Atlanta about what you have accomplished kind of on and off the pitch this year? And if there's been a lot of contact, what have they said about the job you have done with the Indy 11 this season?
I talked to George Bello. He's my friend that I grew up with. And other than that, Miles Robinson a bit, and that's about it.
You've kept it, but I tell you what, again, I've heard this from Mark Rennie, I've heard this from all your teammates, and clearly from our perspective in the broadcast booth, we have been so impressed with you, both on and off the field. Happy you got a goal. Now go find another one on Saturday night, and we'll see you in the playoffs next week, okay?
Thank you, I appreciate that.
You got it, Andrew Carlton. Again, his first Indy 11 go, albeit in an effort that comes up just a bit short for the boys in blue. The playoff spot will be on the line when they play in St. Louis on Saturday. We'll talk more about that after this on My Indy TV. That's right.
Tell you what, stand-up conversation with the kid.
Yep. I almost feel like, again, he's on a couple of dumb things, but I'm kind of like, I think they're being blown out of proportion.
Well, the fact that he's not had contact with anybody in Atlanta outside of 2 friends.
Players, yes.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.